Alonso isn't wasting time. His first Real Madrid signing is almost done. De Bruyne heading to Napoli. Is that for real? Liverpool are snatching up a Bayer Leverkusen star, and Barça might say goodbye to Dani Olmo. 400 likes, and we'll admit that half of these rumours are made up between coffee breaks. But with your support, at least we do it with style. Let's dive straight into the transfer madness. Welcome to our beautiful nonsense. Real Madrid are back at it again, and this time they've set their sights on a surprise target. Bournemouth's Dani Olmo. Yep, you heard that right. While Chelsea have been tracking the 20-year-old defender for months, it's Real who just crashed the party and might actually walk away with the prize. On paper, Chelsea had the upper hand. Olmo's release clause is set at £50 million and it can even be paid in installments. Easy, right? But then Madrid rolled up, as always, off script, and suddenly they're leading the race. Negotiations already underway. Wages? Madrid's offer beats Chelsea's. The Spanish giants are playing their trump cards and winning. For Real, £50 million is no big deal, especially when they can split the payment across 3 stages. And here's the kicker. Sources say Olmo is even willing to take a pay cut just to make the dream move to the Bernabeu. And honestly, who wouldn't? He's young, talented, and ready to fight for a spot in one of the most iconic clubs in the world. Playing under Xabi Alonso, yes, that's who's expected to lead this next-gen backline, is just the cherry on top. Chelsea haven't given up, but let's be real, it's starting to look like their train is leaving the station. And don't forget, Olmo may have Dutch roots, but he plays for Spain's national setup, so settling into life in La Liga, that's not going to be a problem, and Chelsea aren't the only ones watching. Liverpool and Arsenal were both circling, but Madrid are simply moving faster. Word is they want the deal done before the Club World Cup kicks off, and they're not stopping there. They're also chasing a new left-back and, yes, Trent Alexander-Arnold to shore up the right side. Imagine that backline, Olmo on one side, Trent on the other, with Xabi Alonso calling the shots from the bench. That's not just a rebuild, that's a revolution. So, what do you think? Is this the kind of upgrade that turns Real into a new era powerhouse? Or will this turn into another case of looked good on paper? Drop your takes in the comments. Who else do you think Real Madrid should go after to complete the puzzle? And trust me, we're watching this Olmo saga unfold with popcorn in hand. A new era is starting at Liverpool's right-back position. And yes, we're talking about Jeremy Frimpong. This isn't just another rumour floating around. Things are actually happening. After Trent Alexander-Arnold all but waved goodbye to Anfield and hinted it's time to move on, Liverpool have gone full throttle in search of a new king of the right flank. And guess what? A deal with Bayer Leverkusen is almost done. At first I thought, here we go again, another media bluff. We've seen a million of those. But then Fabrizio Romano pulled out his signature, here we go energy. And that's when you know things are getting serious. Reports say Liverpool aren't just interested. They're actively negotiating a deal worth €35 million. And let's be real, that's a bargain in today's market, especially when average defenders are going for ridiculous fees. According to German sources, the deal is close to the finish line. All that's left is to iron out the final details before Frimpong signs a 5-year contract. No more waiting until August. No more last-minute panic buys. This is Richard Hughes setting a new tone, decisive, early, and bold. But let's be clear, Frimpong isn't just another speedster down the wing. Last season, he was electric in the Bundesliga. Bayer's whole title-winning campaign had his fingerprints all over it. No surprise, they extended his contract right after lifting the trophy and slipped in a release clause just in case clubs like Liverpool came knocking. And now, Frimpong wants the move. You don't get a call from a club like Liverpool every day. And with Trent on his way out, there's a golden opportunity to grab a starting spot from day one. That's the kind of challenge ambitious players dream of. If this goes through, Liverpool aren't just plugging a hole left by Trent, they're signing a player with massive upside. The real question is, how quickly can Frimpong adapt to the Premier League? Because let's face it, the Bundesliga and the Premier League are two different beasts when it comes to intensity and pressure. But if he clicks, this could go down as one of the steals of the decade for the Reds. So what do you think? Will Frimpong become the next fan favourite at Anfield? Or is Liverpool taking a risk by handing the flank to a newcomer? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think should replace Trent? And what are your expectations from this transfer? Rodrigo, on the verge of slamming the door shut at the Bernabeu. The Brazilian forward even asked not to be picked for El Clásico. Why? Allegedly, tensions with teammates. Seriously? Right before the biggest game of the season? And all this because of what? Mbappé is arriving, and it seems like Rodrigo senses that his golden days in Madrid are numbered. Add to that Jude Bellingham, who, let's be honest, has stolen the spotlight this season, and suddenly Rodrigo's feeling sidelined. Reports say there's even been friction with Vinicius. What happened? A battle for the spotlight? Or just too many egos on one wing? Funny thing is, just a few weeks ago, the talk was all about Rodrigo wanting to move to Manchester City. Under Pep, of course. But now, the story has taken a darker twist. Apparently, the guy's refusing to play altogether until Madrid agrees to sell him this summer. Yep, just sitting at home, not training, not playing, like, you guys finished the season without me. And here's the irony. This hasn't even been a standout season for him. 6 goals, 6 assists in 30 La Liga games. For a Real Madrid forward, that's mid at best. So when he throws a tantrum like this, no wonder the critics are coming for him. But it gets even more dramatic. Marca claims Rodrigo has straight up told the club he won't wear the shirt again. No Clásico, no crucial matches, nothing until he's out. What even is that? Disrespect? Childish ego trip? This is a club that nurtured him, developed him from a teenager into a global star. And this is how he repays them? Talent is great, sure, but without character? That's just a recipe for failure. This isn't just a slap in the face to his teammates and coaches, it's a full-blown betrayal. Real Madrid, not exactly begging him to stay, word is they're open to selling him. Price tag, 100 million euros. Sell Rodrigo, reinvest in someone who actually wants to wear the shirt. Makes sense, right? Especially since they've already shifted him to the right to make room for Mbappé and Vinicius on the left. Maybe that stung his pride too. So who's in the race? Oh, everyone. City's still in the picture, and now Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, basically the whole Premier League top tier is circling. Even PSG. How's that for irony? Mbappé leaves, Rodrigo arrives, and of course, Saudi Arabia's lurking, ready to offer him a fat contract, full creative freedom, and his favorite position on the left. But here's the thing, that whole "I refuse to play" stunt, that's a huge red flag. You've got to respect the badge. And hey, while we're at it, respect the channel too. We don't walk away before the big match. Hit that subscribe button, we finish what we start. At the end of the day, talent's one thing, but character? That's what separates great players from legends. And if all this is true, Rodrigo just did some serious damage to his legacy. So what do you think? Is a transfer exactly what he needs to relaunch his career? Or is this just the meltdown of a star who couldn't handle the heat? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm genuinely curious. Jadon Sancho's saga just keeps on going. And now it looks like Manchester United might finally be ready to drop the asking price for their wayward son. Why? Because out of nowhere, here comes Bayer Leverkusen. Just think about this roller coaster. United first loaned him to Chelsea, and now the Blues are reportedly ready to pay £5 million just to cancel the buy option in the deal. Let that sink in. They're willing to spend money not to keep him. That's how little he impressed at Stamford Bridge. And now, United, the same club that once paid a fortune to bring Sancho from Dortmund, are supposedly ready to let him go for just £20 million. Tell me that's not some dark comedy. From generational talent to mid-table fullback market value? But here's the catch, his wages. We're talking £250,000 per week. Not even Leverkusen, fresh off their Bundesliga heroics, can justify spending that kind of money on someone who's been more hype than delivery lately. So it's simple. Either Sancho takes a serious pay cut, or he continues his rent-a-player world tour. Crazy, isn't it? Remember how it all started, lighting it up at Dortmund, that dream move to United, and then it all came crashing down. Fallout with managers, loan spells, a failed stint at Chelsea. And now this. Leverkusen are a serious project right now, one of the most exciting teams in Europe last season. Maybe a return to Germany could finally be the reset Sancho needs. That's where he played his best football, after all. But honestly, how many fresh starts can one career have? He's 25 now. Time to stop rebooting and start delivering. And the wildest part, Chelsea would rather burn £5 million to avoid paying £20 to £25 million later. That says everything about how far Sancho's stock has fallen. So the question is, can Leverkusen be the place where Jadon finally gets back on track? Or is this just another chapter in a never-ending saga of letdowns? What do you think? Should Bayer take the risk, even at £20 million? Or are they better off going for someone with less baggage? If I were running Leverkusen, I'd think very carefully. Looks like KDB isn't packing his bags for America anytime soon. Nope, forget the MLS retirement tour. The Belgian maestro has no intention of fading out quietly. At 33, he still believes he can tear apart Europe's best defenses. And guess what? A surprise contender just stepped into the spotlight: sunny Napoli. Yup, the same Napoli where his good buddy Romelu Lukaku is currently hanging out. Word is, Big Rom whispered in Kevin's ear, "Italy's not Manchester, mate. It's pasta, sunshine, and passion." And apparently, KDB liked the sound of that. But this isn't just some vacation fantasy. Napoli have already sprung into action. Imagine director Giovanni Manna sitting in his office like, this could be a once-in-a-generation steal. Well, steal is relative. De Bruyne currently earns €20 million per year at City. Napoli? Yeah, no way they're matching that. Even if De Laurentiis sells off half his yacht collection. Instead, they've reportedly offered around €7 million per season plus bonuses. With tax benefits and perks, they're trying to convince him it's not that far off Premier League money. But let's be real. For Kevin, this isn't just about the paycheck. He's not looking for a final payday. He wants to still be the guy, the heartbeat, the playmaker. And guess who's ready to hand him that baton? Antonio Conte. That's right. The new Napoli boss, and a familiar face, sees De Bruyne as the centerpiece of his rebuild. Think about it. Kevin running the show in a Conte system? That's box office stuff. But here's the twist. Napoli are offering a 2+1 contract, 2 years with an option for a third. De Bruyne? He wants a straight-up 3-year deal. No clauses, no conditions, just security. Can you blame him? He's 33. He wants clarity, not, "We'll see how you feel next summer." And the signs are promising. Sources say Kevin has already told his agents, "Get it done. I want this sorted before my vacation. I want to start pre-season fresh with my new team." Napoli? Not wasting time either. A direct meeting between Conte and De Bruyne is scheduled next week. And this isn't just small talk. This is, let's shape the future of this club serious. So here we are. A true crossroads moment for one of the greatest midfielders of his generation. Is this De Bruyne's final big move? His last grand adventure before the curtain call? We're days away from knowing. Will we see the Belgian genius in sky blue this summer? Or will this Italian dream get crushed under the weight of financial realities? Let me know in the comments. Should Napoli go all in? Or is it too big a gamble? Dani Olmo to Manchester City? Now that's a twist, isn't it? Rumour has it, Pep Guardiola is absolutely obsessed with bringing Olmo into his squad. And honestly, it makes perfect sense. City are looking for that one versatile creative spark. Someone who can play between the lines, break down low blocks, pick the perfect pass, and even score himself. Basically, a number 10 with an engine and vision. And according to multiple sources, Olmo is Pep's number 1 target for that role, the missing piece in Guardiola's ever-evolving footballing machine. But wait a second, let's talk about Dani. The man just returned to his boyhood club, Barcelona. Remember the emotional comeback, the La Masia prodigy returning home, heartwarming interviews, all that nostalgic stuff about always dreaming of wearing this shirt again. He literally just got back. And now what? 1 year later and he's gone again. Feels off, doesn't it? Still, let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Barcelona are broke. Like, please don't check our bank account, broke. Officially, they say Olmo is not for sale. He's a key asset. Brilliant technique, vision in tight spaces, perfect for the kind of possession-based football Barca want to play, at least in theory. But let's be honest, when a club like City shows up with a truckload of cash, things change fast. Because when your finances are a disaster, selling a top player becomes the easiest way out. So, while Barca publicly dig in, you know the board is thinking hard behind closed doors. And while they're thinking, we're grinding, bringing you the spiciest transfer breakdowns and hottest rumors before they go mainstream. And hey, if you keep watching our videos but still haven't subscribed, come on now, hit that button. Seriously, every subscriber is like a financial boost for this channel. It keeps us going, keeps the uploads coming, and helps us keep digging for the real stories. Back to Olmo. Turns out, City didn't just wake up and discover him. They reportedly inquired back in January, just testing the waters. Clearly this isn't some last-minute whim, but here's where the insiders weigh in, especially respected Catalan journalist Juan Martí, who says, "Forget it, it's not happening this summer." And not because City can't afford it. Of course they can. The real issue? Olmo himself. Would he even want to leave? This is his first proper season back at Barça. Sure, it's been stop-start due to injuries. He's missed more games than he'd like, but when he has played, quality. 17 goal contributions despite limited minutes. That says a lot. So here's where we stand. City really want him. He fits exactly what Pep is looking for. Dynamic, intelligent, versatile. Barca desperately need money, but don't want to sell him after going through all the effort of bringing him home. And Olmo himself? That's the biggest unknown. Does he really want to walk away from the dream he just reclaimed? Will he trade it all for a glittering project in Manchester? Will those three lines, City's ambition, Barca's financial mess, and Olmo's personal dream, ever align? We'll find out soon enough. The summer window is coming, and the drama is just getting started.